I am here at Fort Lauderdale Airport, here to pick up Push, which is Push Toyota on YouTube, and we're going to do a road trip. We're driving this Acura TSX wagon to Dallas to deliver it to Clive, who is the winner of the giveaway. Then we're going to fly to Phoenix, and we're going to drive a 6-speed TSX back. So join us on our adventure and follow along. So, we're 14 hours into our trip. About 12 hours driving time, you know, at food stops, gas stops. You know where we are, I think somewhere in Louisiana. Still about 4.5, 5 hours from Dallas, so let's keep going. So we are in Dallas Airport. We dropped off the TSX wagon. You guys can see it's raining outside. Now we're going to be flying to Phoenix, and keep filming in Phoenix. So see you guys. So, we landed in Phoenix, as you guys can see. It's about 100 degrees out here. I'm gonna take an Uber to go pick up this other TSX, meet up with a buddy of mine, maybe grab some lunch with Push's friends too. And we're gonna begin the long journey back to Florida. So you guys can see, we grabbed this TSX. Runs and drives good, just had some in and out. Now we begin the 30-hour journey back to Florida. So this is an unexpected video. Sitting in the back of this TSX, you guys can see Push is driving up front. You guys notice, or you guys don't notice, our AC is not on, and our front windows do not roll down. The AC was working beautifully. We flew in knowing that AC was going to work. And we decided to see what VTEC feels like in this car, and right after that we lost the AC, so the compressor's not engaging, and then we decided, hey, we'll just drive with the windows down. 110 degrees. It's 110 degrees outside. We're in a black car with black leather, and the front windows don't roll down. The rear you could roll down and the sunroof works, but the second you roll it down, it's hot ass air coming in that's even hotter than the inside of the car. So this should be a fun next 6 hours, maybe 2-3 hours until the sun drops, hopefully, but we'll see. So, little updates. As you guys can see, we're in El Paso, so literally like 500 feet from the Mexican border. There's the TSX. I just fucked with it for 1 hour, just trying to get the AC to kick on. It will not kick on. I swapped relays. I drained some refrigerant. I added some refrigerant. Try to get the pressures to be decent, but no matter what I do, the clutch on the compressor is not kicking on. I tried banging on it, I tried turning it myself. It spins, you bang on it, it almost wants to engage when you smack it. kind of, you know, wears against the material, I guess, for the clutch material, but it will not engage. So looks like the rest of this journey is gonna have to be no AC. It probably is gonna need a new clutch or a new compressor, either one. Yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update. We got like 2,000 miles more to go through Texas. With all the southern states, it's gonna be hot as fuck. It's gonna be 100 degrees here today. I was hoping we could take off early in the morning to avoid some heat, but Push has a conference call for his job, so we're gonna be taking off around 10, which means we're gonna be driving with no AC through the hottest part of the day. Luckily, I did, and one thing that I got to work is I did get the windows to work. So at least we have some airflow, even though it's gonna be hot ass airflow. But hot airflow is better than no airflow. So yeah, just an update for you guys. So let's go.
Yeah, and we're gonna catch him.
Cutting me off on my speech.
Yes, sorry.
So we are just outside of San Antonio. We found a Whataburger that has an open dining room, and of course we had to stop. Day 3 of our adventure. We're in Tallahassee, tired as fuck. Drove through the whole night. I pushed it. I got a couple hours of sleep in the back seat. About 7 hours away from home. Obviously, it's getting hotter. We still have no AC. It's getting more humid. So we'll see how the last 7 hours go. I hope it doesn't start pouring like it usually does in Florida. Yeah, we thought about stopping last night, but if we had stopped, we would get home way later, and Push flies out tomorrow. So I was hoping, you know, if we get back in time, we have time to relax, chill, you know, and not be in a huge rush to just go to sleep, wake up, and take him back to the airport. So this way, if we happen to get home around, you know, 4 or 5 p.m. at the latest, we're still good, have time to, you know, do whatever, relax before we're going to sleep. So that's the update. The home stretch, I guess, even though we're in Florida, it's still about a long ways away. For those of you who don't know, Florida is big. It's really long to drive through top to bottom, but not only that, but we have to go west to east and then top to bottom. So it's really long. Not as bad as Texas was, but it's pretty bad. So let's go.
This is what happens when Sergi drives fast.
Yeah, we got a little too excited in Florida, so we got pulled over. Well, we did get pulled over, but I did get let off. I think it was a bullshit stop because I was only going like 85 and a 75, or it might have been 70, so maybe it wasn't bullshit. But he just said your windows look dark, and like I just bought the car as it is, so we got let off. Warning, or not even a written warning, just said everything looks good. So that's a good sign because I really don't want another ticket. So. And I'm finally home. The last mile of this journey, more than 3,000 miles. I'm exhausted, sweaty, I stink, tired, my back hurts. What a journey, but I'm glad to be home. So we made it back to Florida. It's been a couple of days now. Had time to kind of relax, process over, you know, everything that happened. So here's a little recap. If I were to do this trip again, I would definitely not do it. You know, me and Push had fun on the trip. The problem is, I think I planned everything too tight. You know, when I looked at the trip, I was like, oh, we're gonna have one day to make it to Dallas, which we did. We had, you know, there's a 24. I picked a flight 24 hours after he landed in Florida, first to leave Dallas. So I knew the first part of the trip was gonna be really tight, and it was. It was about 20 hours to get to Dallas driving. So with food stops, all that, we really almost had no time to spare. We got to Dallas super tired. We drove through the night. We got 30 minutes of sleep, went to the airport. That's kind of where things started going wrong. So the problem is, with COVID, the lounge at the airport was closed where we planned to sleep more. So we didn't really get any rest there. The other problem is, when we're driving to Dallas, our last meal was like 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Florida time, you know, for dinner. You know, in the morning we went to the airport. We didn't eat because we figured we were going to eat with our friends in Phoenix, which we did. But we, you know, we landed at Phoenix. It was, I believe, like 2 p.m. Phoenix time, which is about 4 p.m. Florida time. So that was a whole 22 hours after we had eaten in Florida. So when we got to Phoenix, we went to get In-N-Out. And right after In-N-Out is when the TSX clutch broke down, literally like minutes after. So we had just eaten, you know, we're obviously hungry, our body hasn't processed the meal. And in Phoenix, it's 120 degrees, so you're hot. And we're already kind of dehydrated because driving through the night, we drank Red Bulls and, you know, just dehydrate too. So we're starving, or we had, you know, we're low in calories from not eating. We're dehydrated, and the AC had went out, so now we were just hot, and it's just a brutal hot in a black TSX in 120 degree weather with no AC. So, you know, when that all went down, we're kind of feeling nauseous. So at least I was. So it really kind of felt like shit, kind of put a burden on the whole trip. And not only that, it slowed us down. So, like I said, when I was planning, originally, I think in my head, oh, we have 3 days to get from Phoenix to back to Florida, plenty of time. Well, it's actually 2.5 days, you know, if you count the actual hours. And then if you factor in the time changes, obviously you lose some time there because Florida's, you know, 3 hours ahead of Phoenix. Then you factor in the gas stops, the food stops, you lose a couple more hours, and you're left with somewhere around 48 hours to complete a 33-hour drive, which is obviously doable, but it means, you know, 15, 16 hours of driving a day. You know, I think it's 33 hours supposedly from Phoenix to here. And yeah, it was just a rush trip. Obviously, with no AC, made our pain on the ass. It was hot in some parts, Texas, Phoenix, like I mentioned. In Florida, it was tough. You know, on top of that, Push, he was working remotely, so whenever he had to stop to work, we had to stop. Or whenever he had to take a business call and we're driving, we had to drive with the windows up. Now, this wasn't really a big issue, but in Florida, you know, it got really humid, so the only thing we have are windows. So when somebody calls and we're on the highway, windows have to go up. So I mean, there were a couple of times we took a couple of phone calls, and within 2-3 minutes, I mean, we were just drenched in sweat because you're sitting in an oven and it's super humid. So almost immediately your body starts sweating, exerting. So yeah, it was just a little recap for you guys. Like I said, it was fun. I'm not a big fan of long drives, but you know, if I had a lot more time, if I planned this trip for 4, 5, 6 days, it would probably have been awesome, even with the AC failure. But for the whole 3-day crunch, you know, I don't know, we left Sunday, we came back Wednesday. You know, obviously you're splitting days too, so 3.5 days, but you know, like the travel times, all that, we covered almost 4,000 miles. So yeah, it was hectic. I mean, the car made it back fine. If you guys can see, there's the car. For those of you wondering why the AC went out, the clutch failed. I think the clutch got burnt up. It was probably on its last legs, and when we happened to floor the car, merging on the highway in Phoenix, it just probably, you know, the extra load probably spun the clutch, and that was just it. After that, it never came back on. So I tried banging on it, I tried doing a lot of work on it on the drive, and it just never happened. So anyway, we did make it back. Super tiring trip. Like I said, I'll probably do another road trip sometime, but I'll definitely plan it better, give ourselves more time. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.